So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Lovejuice.
The other day our producer Louis had a chat with an interesting chappie who said that the YouTube algorithms really aren't that happy. If a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we could texture whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the track extra.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's John Downs and I'm the director of the Centre for Freudian Zoology. Now, I had a parcel this morning and as I hadn't ordered anything, I decided to have you, because I've got a sneaking suspicion I may know what it is, I'd like you to share with me the excitement of an unboxing, because I quite like these unboxings. I must admit, when I first heard about unboxings on YouTube, I thought it was an absolutely bloody stupid idea. But I've actually got quite into them, much to my surprise. Now, what have we got here? Oh, it's all wrapped up. And this is from somebody called Luke, who has sent me a very nice card with bees on it, which is rather fun. And he's even wrapped it up. This is unprecedented. I thought it was going to come from Amazon. I didn't know it was going to come from him with a card. That's very sweet of you, Luke. Thank you. Now, let's have a look and see what do we have here. I'm always quite impressed with my post, because apart from the fact that I have continual letters from the mortgage people trying to get me to move out of my house so I can sell it and pay off the mortgage, I do get occasionally some nice things like this. And that's my sort of book cover. I like that a lot. And it is called Conversations with Other Animals. And I discovered him because the Google News alerts, which I subscribe to every morning, came up with him talking about Jeff, the talking mongoose. And as regular viewers of this show will know, I and Richard, the whole lot of us really, are big fans of Jeff. And we would like to get involved with anything that's being written about him. And this is just one of the subjects in this book. Let me just say, it's Melanie Challenger, who's the Vice President of the RSPCA and author of How to Be an Animal, writes, Thompson's book is playful, provocative, at times surreal, at other times heartbreaking. He is a unique and compelling guide through conversations, real and imagined, with other beings. Well, already this sounds like the sort of book that we need to be covering, and the sort of book I'm very much looking forward to reading. What do the longest-serving Canadian Prime Minister and a ketamine-injecting psychonaut have in common? What would a poltergeist mongoose say if you spoke to him on a Ouija board? Would talking spiders be more believable if they had lips? These are some of the important questions Luke Thompson asks in his exploration of human-animal conversation. Well, as everybody knows, I have long conversations with Archibald and my cats, some of which turn up on this show.
They most certainly do, Father, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this book when you've finished it, and then I'm going to tell the cats all about it.
Aren't you going to let the cats read it for themselves, Archie?
Because they're stupid and they can't read. Not like little dogs can.
And of course there's also a talking chicken who also turns up on this show sometimes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am Hennis, the talking chicken, and I'm the person really in charge of this show. So this is a subject which I am very, very, very much looking forward to reading about. Thank you, Luke. It's very sweet of you, and I very much look forward to reading it, and we will most certainly have you on the show as soon as I finish reading it. Thank you. Now we need to set the scene for something really quite peculiar and macabre. The Mafia have been known to put a freshly severed horse's head into the bed of somebody they are accusing of treachery. Or something very similar happened recently to our very own Miss Guinevere. Okay, I admit it was clickbait, but look how horrified darling Miss Guinevere seems to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name's John Downs. I'm the director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, which is the English-speaking world's largest, and we like to think the best, and certainly the longest-standing mystery animal research group. And we want you to help us sort out and try and solve an animal mystery of our own, which has happened in the last few days to one of the leading members of the Centre for Fortean Zoology. And this young fella here is Captain Peanut Phenobilax, the orange cat, who, as far as he's concerned, is the most important person within the Centre for Fortean Zoology. But as Archie Pig, the little dog, also thinks exactly the same thing, it's difficult to know who to believe. All I know is the most important person in the Centre for Fortean Zoology is certainly not me, because I'm just the silly old git who makes the odd web TV show and talks nonsense, and sometimes, I should have been doing it, sometimes wears a rather fetching hat, which V. McCrinnan gave me. Here's the hat, I've got to put it on. I think it's rather fetching. Now, something very strange happened this week with Miss Guinevere, the lady who is my assistant, but is also the lady who's going to take over from me when I finally hang up this rather fetching tither. Which isn't going to be just yet, by the way, guys. You've still got to put up with me for a while. But as regular viewers will know, Gwyn has taken over the mantle of running the CFZ menagerie, and whereas I just have 4 cats, a dog and a large fish, Guinevere now has a whole house full of invertebrates and tropical amphibians. She's got 2 species of frog, a lizard, and God alone knows how many different praying mantises, millipedes, cockroaches, and other creepy crawlies. Now this week she received a parcel in the post, and she messaged me and said, had I sent this? And she included a little piece of footage.
Oh, that's what it is. There's the gas.
Yes, sweetheart.
Until it goes.
Look at this stupid camera to focus. Mm-hmm.
Of what were obviously horsehead grasshoppers. Well, I've always been rather fond of horsehead grasshoppers. I think they're fascinating little creatures, and I've always intended to buy some for Gwyn, and she knows that, but I haven't yet. And so, the question remains, who sent Gwyn the horsehead grasshoppers? Which is a little bit like who put Bella in the witch elm. But that's a totally different story, which I'll probably talk about on another day. So, although the question of where they came from remains, Gwyn is very happy to have horsehead grasshoppers, and I thought, because they're quite obscure little creatures, even though in this occasion we have no idea who sent them to her, I thought I should probably tell you a little bit about them. Horsehead grasshoppers, belonging to the genus Pseudoproscopia, are fascinating insects known for bodies which look like those of stick insects, and their elongate and unique heads, which the fanciful say resemble those of horses. These grasshoppers are part of the family Proscopidae, commonly referred to as false stick grasshoppers due to their stick-like appearance and behavior. Found primarily in South America, particularly in tropical and subtropical regions, they thrive in forested areas where their slender bodies and cryptic coloration help them blend seamlessly into their surroundings, avoiding predators. However, it seems that horsehead grasshoppers have been reported as occurring around the world, with our very own Richard Freeman finding one in Thailand back in the year 2000. How this family spread so widely and how closely all the members of the Pseudoproscopia are related to each other is something I don't know. But these latest events in Gwyn's zoo have set me off on somewhat of a Pseudoproscopia crusade, and I'm determined to find out more about them. One of the most striking features of Pseudoproscopia is their highly specialized morphology. Unlike typical grasshoppers, they have long, slender legs and an extended pronotum, the upper part of the thorax, which gives them an almost stick insect-like silhouette. The heads are elongated and often held forwards, enhancing their resemblance to a horse's head. These adaptations serve as excellent camouflage amongst twigs and foliage, making them nearly invisible to both predators and prey. Additionally, they're slow-moving insects, relying more on stealth than speed to survive. Ecologically, horsehead grasshoppers play a role in their habitats as herbivores, feeding on leaves and plant matter. Their presence contributes to nutrient cycling and forest ecosystems, though they are not as widely studied as other orthopterans. Some species within Pseudoproscopia exhibit parthenogenesis, a form of asexual reproduction which allows them to colonize new areas efficiently. Due to their unusual appearance and behavior, they are of interest to entomologists studying insect evolution and mimicry, showcasing the incredible diversity of adaptations within the grasshopper order. And we still don't know who the mysterious entomologist who sent the horse-headed grasshoppers to Gwyn is, or why they did it, or when they did it, or anything about them. So if any of you sleuths out there can work out who, why, what, and where, I'd be very interested to find out. And the rest of you, I'll be back on Saturday. And you want to know what I'm talking about on Saturday? Well, I think I will be talking to the author and artist, Timothy Wayne Williams, about his new book about Bigfoot. But I could be wrong, so you're just going to have to tune in and see what's happening, because That's the only way you'll find out for sure. So if you're there watching it, and I'm there doing all my normal Saturday afternoon gubbins, then I will most certainly wait for it, Mr. McCrennan. Be seeing